Hello and welcome to the Macomb Fieldhouse for this women's basketball game against Salem University. I'm Sid Dundon doing all the play-by-play for you for this first half alongside Matt. Matt, what are some of the things you can expect from this game?
I think it's going to be a fast-paced game. Tonight we are without Sierra Ralston. I think the big deal here is for Edinboro to get as many rebounds as they can without their tallest person on the court. And Salem's a team that doesn't really reflect their record. They've had a lot of games, a lot of close games, and they average 76 points per game and allow 84. So there's a lot of close games.
And with that, we are getting ready for tip-off, and it looks like for Edinboro, number 12, Macy Tarrant, and for Salem, it will be number 5, Mckayla Pickens for the tip-off. And Salem wins the tip-off. Ball goes to Salem's number 2, Bishop. Bishop passes to 5, Pickens. Pickens is in the paint. Pickens over to 6. 6 shoots with a 3, but is rebounded by 20, Michelle Yan for Edinboro. Over to Jonte Walton. Jonte Walton bringing the ball up for Edinboro. She goes to the left side of the court. Over and drives into the paint. She goes up for a layup, but is unsuccessful. The ball is rebounded by Salem, number 6, and passed to number 2. Salem with a jump shot, and it is good for 2. Bridget Schaefer attempting to pass the ball in, but the ball is deflected back out by number 15 for Salem, Garcia. And it will be back again as Edinboro's ball.
Yeah, for Edinboro, we have Michelle Yan, Jonte Walton, Bridget Schaefer, Macy Tarrant, and Mckayla Barnes, who will be taking the ball out right now.
I think something that should be said is that Salem's already full court pressing despite it being minutes into the game. And the ball is over to number 1 for Schaefer. Then pass to Jonte Walton. Walton drives in for a jump shot in the paint. It is unsuccessful. The ball is rebounded by number 3 for Salem, Viva Lobos. Over to number 4, then pass back out for a three-pointer, which is good by number 1, Precious Price for Salem. Michelle Barnes inbounding the ball for Edinboro over to Schaefer. Schaefer with the ball on the right side of the court. Back over to Barnes. Barnes dribbling it up over the half-court line and coming towards the right-hand side of the court. She drives into the paint and up with a layup, which she is successful for. Ball being brought up by number 1, Price for Salem. She brings it across the half-court line over and is driving into the paint. She attempts to shoot, but is blocked by number 20, Michelle Yan for Edinboro.
Yeah, and they're gonna call a foul there on Michelle Yan. Precious Price gonna head to the line for 2.
Score sits 2 Edinboro, 5 Salem.
First shot no good for Price. There will be a couple substitutions for Salem. Actually, there's a whole new squad coming out for Salem, except the shooter, Precious Price.
With 8 minutes and 28 seconds left, Salem is 5 and Edinboro with 2. And her second attempt is good.
Salem looks to be staying in the full court press here. I'd say Edinboro is very undersized in this game.
I would say so. Barnes inbounding the ball for Edinboro. Over to Tarrant. Tarrant over to Yan. Yan dribbling the ball up the left side of the court towards the top of the arc. Over to Barnes, who is at the E. Barnes at the three-point line, driving into the paint again and stopping to create a jump shot, and she is successful. Ball being brought up by number 2 for Bishop for Salem. Bishop passing over to number 14, Fernandez. Fernandez into the paint and is good for another jump shot. Walton with the ball now for Edinboro. Over to Yan. Yan dribbling down the left side of the court. Yan over to Walton. Walton Walton still with the ball. Walton drives down into the paint and over to Yan, who goes for a 3 but is unsuccessful. The ball is rebounded by number 23 for Salem, Tart over to number 5. over to number 14, who is on the right-hand side of the court, over to number 15. Number 15 over to number 2, Bishop, and Bishop up with the shot, but is fouled in the process, and she will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, that's a good drive there by Salem's leading scorer, Nia Bishop. They're going to call the foul on Macy Tarrant. It's her first. There's 2 Edinboro team fouls. It's 8-4 Salem as Bishop heads to the line for 2. First one is good. More quick substitutions for Salem. Another group of 4 coming in. Mckayla Barnes has the only 4 points for Edinboro, coming off her 33-point game against Mercyhurst the other night, where she achieved 1,000 career points. Bishop's got 1 more at the line here. It's going to be good. And Bishop will have a seat. Precious Price will come back in for Salem.
Barnes inbounding the ball for Edinboro. Barnes over to Tarrant. Tarrant over to Walton. Walton bringing the ball across the half-court line on the left-hand side. Walton over to Barnes. Barnes driving into the paint. Out to Schaefer. Schaefer with a 3. And the shot is no good. Rebounded by Michelle Yon. Over to Walton. Walton again with a 3, but no good. And it is rebounded by number 21, Hall for Salem. Number 1, Price with the ball for a jump shot is no good. Rebounded by Bridget Schaefer for Edinboro. Edinboro's Walton bringing it across the half court. Walton driving into the paint for a layup, but the ball is blocked by Salem's number 10, Jones, in the process. And it will be Edinboro's ball underneath Salem's net. Walton inbounding the ball over to Jan. Jan at the arc, attempting a 3. The shot is no good. It is rebounded by number 5, Pickens, for Salem. Pickens over the half-court line and driving into the paint, but is fouled in the process of a shot.
Yeah, they're going to call that on Jonte Walton. They're going to call a blocking foul. Another new set of 5 for Salem. Quick with the substitutions early on in the game. It is 10-4 Salem with 6:26 left in the first quarter.
How do you think that Salem substituting like this is helping the game?
Well, they have that full court press in full effect, and they don't want to have any slow legs.
All right, and Salem with a jump shot that is no good, rebounded by Michelle Yon. Yon bringing it over the half-court line, over to Walton, but the pass is missed and passed over to Salem, and they're good for a layup. The points will go to Precious Price for Salem. That puts the score to 12-4 Salem with 6 minutes and 3 seconds left in the half. Walton bringing the ball over half court on the left-hand side.
Tarrant with a good pick.
Driving for a jump shot, but is rebounded by Salem. Bishop with the ball on the right-hand side, passes over to number 15, Garcia, who's in the paint, but is stolen away by Schaefer and passed off to Walton. Walton back to Schaefer, who drove in but was unsuccessful in her layup. And now Bishop once again bringing the ball over the half-court line for Salem. Over to number 3, Villalobos. Back over to Bishop for Salem. And Bishop now at the top of the arc. Back, the ball is now passed to number 23, Tart. And back to Bishop, who attempts a 3-point shot, but it is no good. The ball is then rebounded by Michelle Yon, and Walton now bringing the ball over the half-court line. Walton back out to Tarrant. Tarrant with an attempted 3, but it is no good. The ball is rebounded by number 15, Garcia. Garcia over to number 5 for Salem. Number 3, Villalobos. Over to number 23, Tart, who is successful in driving into the paint for a layup.
Yeah, they're kind of just getting the shots that they want over and over again.
Schaefer with the ball back over to Barnes. Barnes bringing the ball over half court. Barnes over to Walton. Walton driving into the paint and is fouled in the process. She will go to the line for 2.
They're going to call that foul on number 15, Garcia. That's going to be her first of the night.
The score sits 14-4 Salem with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in this quarter. Edinboro has called a timeout. And we're going to go ahead and take a break, a 1-minute break along with them. This has been WFSC 88.9 Fighting Scots Radio. And we are back at Macomb Fieldhouse as Walton will go to the line for Edinboro with 2.
Couple substitutions for Edinboro. Monica Brown, number 3, and number 14, Abby Antelick coming in. Tarrant and Jan will take a seat on the bench for some rest.
Walton was successful in her first free throw attempt and now is attempting her second. And she is good.
14-6, Salem still leads.
Salem's Price bringing the ball over the arc and driving into the paint, but dribbles out of bounds and is unsuccessful. Barnes will inbound the ball for Edinboro.
That's a great defense there by Monica Brown, just staying in front of her player, causing a turnover.
And Barnes over to number 14 for Edinboro, Antolic. Back over to Walton, who's bringing it across the half-court line. She drives into the paint on the left-hand side, back out to Schaefer, who then passes it to Barnes. Barnes driving into the paint for a wide-open layup. Salem now inbounding the ball. Price bringing the ball over the half-court line on the left-hand side. Price giving the ball up to number 10 for Salem. Jones passing the ball back out and back up, and they are good for a layup.
Salem is really pushing this press.
Barnes into Antolic. Antolic out to Barnes. Barnes dribbling down the court over the half-court line and onto the left-hand side, attempting to drive into the paint but stopping for a jump shot, and she's unsuccessful. The ball is rebounded by Bowers for Salem and passed over to Price, who brings the ball down over the half-court line on the left-hand side. The ball is now passed to Jones. Jones with the ball at the top of the arc, who picks it up and is fouled for a double dribble.
Another great defensive play by the newly substituted Antolic, who was able to knock the ball out of Salem player's hand and cause another turnover. It will be Edinboro ball.
And Salem with another set of full substitutions for their court. Barnes inbounding the ball to Walton. Walton back over the half-court line, dribbling on the left-hand side and attempting to drive into the paint before bringing it back out. A pick is set by Antolic, and the ball is passed to Barnes. Barnes dribbling in with a spin move and goes up but is unsuccessful in her layup. The ball is rebounded by number 15, Garcia, for Salem.
Yeah, they're going to call a foul on Mckayla Barnes, who was pressing by herself there. Edinboro's offense looks great. They are getting the shots that they want. It's either Mckayla Barnes or Jonte Walton driving in and kicking it out to an open three or taking a layup. Shots just aren't falling early for Edinboro as the score stands 16-8 Salem.
And Salem's Bishop bringing the ball back over the half-court line at the top of the E and down onto the left side at the top of the arc. She drives into the paint but passes the ball back out to number 3, Tart. Tart attempts a shot but is rebounded by Schaefer for Edinboro. Schaefer over to Barnes, and Barnes dribbles down the half-court line on the right-hand side but passes back out to Walton. Walton on the left-hand side drives into the paint and attempts for a layup but is fouled in the process.
It's going to be a foul on number 23, Tamaya Tart. It'll be her first of the contest. It's now 3 team fouls for Salem. Edinboro has 4. Jonte Walton will go to the line for 2.
The score sits 16-8 Salem with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Walton's first free throw attempt is successful, and there is a substitution. Schaefer will be taking a seat on the bench, and Tarrant will be substituting in her place. Walton's second free throw attempt is good, and the ball is being brought back over half court by Bishop for Salem. Bishop dribbling down into the paint and attempting a layup, but it is rebounded by Walton. Walton bringing the ball down and passing it out to Antolic. Antolic receiving a foul for a travel.
Yeah, they're going to call a travel on Antolic there, who just had a little bit of happy feet situation there after making a successful pump fake. But at the other end there, before that turnover by Edinboro, Mckayla Barnes tried taking a charge, and there was nothing called, no charge or block.
Price bringing the ball over the half-court line for Salem, passed over to number 21 for Salem in the paint, but the pass is then intercepted by Barnes, but passed back out to another Salem member. And Salem's number 20, or excuse me, number 16, or 15, Garcia, is successful in her jump shot from the baseline. Walton back over the half-court line and dribbling at the top of the arc, now down onto the left-hand side. Walton still with the ball, passes back out to Barnes, and Barnes now passes the ball out to Antolik, who drives into the paint but is unsuccessful in her layup. Price bringing the ball over the half-court line and dribbling onto the left-hand side, now passing out to number 20, who is good with her jump shot, her three-point shot.
It's now 22-10 Salem.
Walton now with the ball, attempting to dribble over half-court line, but not managing to quite successfully with some of the press. Passes over to number 3 for Edinboro, Brown. The ball is stolen away by Price, who is successful in her breakaway layup.
Yeah, nobody got back on defense there after that turnover by Edinboro, and Price was able to make an easy layup.
And as they take a timeout, we're going to take a 30-second break alongside with them. This is WFSE 88.9 Fighting Scots Radio. And we are back at Macomb Fieldhouse as Barnes just inbounded the ball for Edinboro. Now number 4, Fisher with the ball at the top of the E. Over to Barnes, who is on the right-hand side of the arc. Back out to Jan, who is at the top of the arc before passing back over to Barnes. Barnes attempting to dribble in and passing it back out to Schaefer. Schaefer is good with the 3.
Edinboro needed to make a basket there. That was a very clutch shot by Bridget Schaefer in the corner.
Price for Salem driving down onto the left side near the baseline for Salem, but it is rebounded by number 10 for Salem, Jones. Jones back out to Price. Price now sits at the top of the arc with the ball. Price over to number 20, Smith. Smith over to 14, but the ball bobbles a little bit because of Mckayla Barnes' passing. And a little bit of a crowd disagreement there with a travel not being called, but nonetheless, that is where you have it for the first quarter. Score is 24 Salem and 13 Edinboro. We will take a break alongside with them for 1 minute. This is 88.9 WFSE Fighting Scots Radio. Welcome back to Macomb Fieldhouse for the second quarter of the women's basketball game. Number 1, Schaefer for Edinboro passes into Fisher for Edinboro. Back over to Tarrant. Tarrant to Barnes. Barnes out to Jan. Jan with a 3, and it is no good. The ball is rebounded by number 3 for Salem, Vielbus. Over to number 15, who is attempting a three-point shot, and rebounded again by Barnes. Barnes with the breakaway and attempting to drive in for a layup, but is unsuccessful in the commotion. Out to number 1, Schaefer, who attempts a three-point shot but is unsuccessful. Bishop with the ball now for Salem, bringing it back over the half-court line and attempting to drive in, but is unsuccessful and, is successful in making her layup.
26-13 now.
Schaefer over to Jan. Jan with the ball on the right-hand side of the court. Back out to Barnes. Barnes over to Fisher, who is on the left-hand side of the court at the top of the arc. Barnes over to Jan. Jan on the right-hand side of the court. Back out to Schaefer at the top of the arc. Over to Barnes. Barnes attempting to go for a layup, and it is successful. Bishop for Salem now bringing the ball across half court. And over to number 23, Tart. Bishop again with the ball, and over to 15, Garcia. Bishop at the ball at the top of the arc again, but is unsuccessful in her three-point. Jan pushing the ball down the court, back out to Barnes. Barnes driving in and passing back out with a bounce pass back out to Jan. Jan attempting to shoot, but the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that's been Edinboro's best possession of the game so far. Good pump fake by Mckayla Barnes. Great cut by Jan to get a shot. Not the shot she was looking for, but it will stay with Edinboro. And schematically, I've never seen a coaching strategy that first-year coach Cody Gilmore of Salem is pulling right now. It's almost like hockey substitutions. They're just bringing new people in and new people in.
And Schaefer with the ball after Barnes inbounded to Barnes driving into the paint and attempting a layup and is fouled in the process. She will go to the line with 2.
They're going to call that on number 5, Pickens of Salem. Kaylee Wheeler in the last possession for Salem was emphatically talking to the referees, trying to get a defensive 3-second call as a Salem player was just parked in the lane.
And Barnes' first attempt is successful. The score is 26-16 Salem with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second quarter. Barnes' second free throw attempt is successful as well. The score is now 26-17 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second quarter.
And early on, Mckayla Barnes has 10 of the 17 Edinboro points, but she is subbed out.
And Price for Salem bringing the ball down on the right-hand side. She attempts to drive in for a jump shot and is unsuccessful. The ball is rebounded by Schaefer for Edinboro, passed over to Walton. Walton bringing the ball over the half-court line and attempting to go up for a layup. The layup is successful.
A little bit of contact there, should have been a foul, but Jonte Walton pulls through.
Price drove the ball down over the half-court line and will receive an offensive foul, I believe, for charging.
Yep, Michelle Yan had position. Her feet were set, and she took the charge. Great defensive stand there by Edinboro.
Fisher inbounding, passed over to Antolik, over to Yan. Yan on the left-hand side of the court, passes over to Walton. Walton now directing the players where to go and passing back out to Yan. Yan over to Schaefer at the top of the arc. Schaefer attempting a three-point shot, but it is no good. It is rebounded by Salem and passed back over to Price before she baseball passes it all the way down to the baseline to number 14, Fernandez, but her shot was unsuccessful. And the ball is stolen away by Schaefer from Edinboro. Number 4, Fisher attempts a three-point shot, but it is no good, and it is rebounded by Yan.
Who got jumped on and landed on by, that's going to be number 1, Precious Price.
The score sits 26-19 Salem with 7 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second quarter. There are some substitutions going on for both sides.
Great hustle play by Bridget Schaefer. After missing the three, she was the first one back on defense, was able to stop the Salem offense and get the ball back for Edinboro.
The ball is inbounded to Yan, who attempts to drive in for a layup, but the ball is blocked and hit out of bounds by Salem's number 15, Garcia.
There's just nothing down low for Edinboro right now.
Walton inbounding the ball. Passed over to Schaefer, who tips it to Yan. Yan receiving control of the ball before passing it out to Walton. Walton passing the ball over to Schaefer on the right-hand side of the court. Schaefer passing out to Yan. Yan to Walton on the left-hand side of the court. Walton driving in the paint and is fouled in the process of attempting to make a layup.
It's going to be on number 3 of Salem, Villalobos. Walton will head to the line for 2. Score sits 26-19 in favor of Salem with 6:53 left in the second quarter.
Walton's first shot bounces off the rim and comes back out, so her first attempt is unsuccessful. Walton's second attempt is successful, and now Salem will have possession of the ball. Antolik will take a seat on the bench for number 10. Young is to come in the game for Borough. Bishop coming down the court and driving on the right, but is trapped by Edinboro players. Number 23, Tart, drives in.
She made the basket, but before the basket fell, the referee called a travel on Tart. Will be Edinboro ball.
Barnes inbounding for Edinboro once again. And over to Young for Edinboro. Walton bringing the ball over half court. And at the left-hand side of the arc, dribbles out before passing over to Yan. Yan in the same position that Barnes was before, over to Walton. Walton on the right-hand side of the court, driving into the paint and is unsuccessful in her layup. Number 15, Garcia for Salem, dribbling down the court. Passes back to Bishop before settling once again. Bishop dribbling down onto Bishop staying at the top of the arc, but the pass is attempted to be intercepted by Yan. And number 23, Tart, uses that opportunity to gain control of the ball and drive in and make a successful layup. Barnes passes the ball out to number 10, but Coach Callie Weaver calls a timeout, and we are going to take a timeout with them for 30 seconds. This is WFSE Fighting Scots Radio. Welcome back to Macomb Fieldhouse. I'm Sid Dundon, bringing you all the play-by-play action for this first half of the women's game alongside Matt, who's doing color, and then we will reverse roles for the second half. Matt, what are you seeing with this game so far? Are you seeing any strategies? Like, what's going on?
For Salem, as I mentioned before, they are doing some sort of hockey substitution, it seems, where they're bringing a new set of 5 players in every 2 to 3 minutes because they want to employ this full-court press and try to cause early turnovers before Edinboro has a chance to get set up in their half-court offense. Now for Edinboro, without Sierra Rawson in the game, they're a bit undersized, and there is at least 2 6-footers in the game every time for Salem. So there's not a lot going on down low for Edinboro. I think what needs to happen is they need to get it down, try to get it down low a little bit, and kick out to their 3-point shooters, who are getting open looks, but the shots are not falling early in the game.
All right.
28-20 Salem. Edinboro will have the ball with 5 minutes, 45 seconds left in the half.
Walton now inbounding the ball and bringing it over half-court line as it was passed back to her. She's on the right-hand side of the court and attempting to drive into the paint and is fouled in the process of her layup.
Yeah, that's a clear foul. A lot of body contact there between Salem player and Walton.
The score is 28-20 Salem with 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the second quarter.
The last foul on Salem will go on number 10, India Jones.
Walton's first attempt is successful, and that leaves 0 team fouls for this quarter for Edinboro, but 5 for Salem. And Walton's second attempt is successful as well, bringing the score 28 Salem, 22 Edinboro with 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the second quarter.
We got Abby Antlich subbing back into the game for Edinboro as Salem brings it past the half-court line.
Price with the ball at the side of the arc, on the left side of the arc. And now number 5 for Salem, Pickens with the ball at the top of the arc, passing back over to Price. Price passing the ball into the paint to 14 before it's tipped back out to number 20, Smith. Pass back out to Price. Price passes the ball over to number 14, Fernandez. Fernandez driving into the left side of the paint, back over to Smith. And Smith no good with her attempted shot, but number 15, Garcia, will be fouled in the process and is going to the line for 2.
Salem, of course, taking advantage of second, 3, even 4 times getting the ball back after getting offensive rebounds. There they got 3 offensive rebounds, and it ends with 2 free throws.
And Salem's number 21, Kayla Hall, is at the line right now. And she's successful in her first free throw and attempts her second, but is not successful. And the ball is rebounded by number 5 for Edinboro, Jonte Walton. Walton bringing the ball over the half-court line onto the right-hand side and passing the ball out to Schaefer, who is on the left-hand side of the arc. Back over to Jan at the top of the arc, who fakes and drives in but is unsuccessful, so dribbles the ball back out to Walton. Walton driving into the paint again and is fouled yet again in the process. What do you think fouling has to do with this game right now?
Well, Edinboro's been taking it to them every time. If they get a shot to go down low, they're going to drive hard. Mckayla Barnes and Jonte Walton have done a great job of getting down low. Refs are calling the fouls now.
And Jonte Walton is good in her first free throw attempt. I'd like to also note that Edinboro is now in the bonus. And the score sits 29 Salem, 23 Edinboro with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter. Walton attempting her second free throw.
A new 5
and the ball bounces off the rim and back out, so it is rebounded by Salem. And Bishop is bringing it over the half-court line for Salem. Bishop with the ball, stopping at the top of the arc before passing it back out to number 15, Garcia. Garcia out to Bishop. And an attempted 3-point shot, but it is no good. The ball is rebounded by Schaefer and passed over to Michelle Jan before passing it back over to Jonte Walton, who dribbles it down for a jump shot and is successful.
That's a great play by Walton there. Pretty little floater to finish for the 2 points.
Bishop with the ball again, driving into the paint for Salem, and is successful in her layup.
Yeah, Bishop pretty much mirrored the last play Jonte Walton did, another floater, putting Salem up 31-25.
Walton now trying to bring the ball over half court, but the full court press giving her a bit of trouble. But the ball is then passed over to Jan, who passes over to Schaefer and over to Barnes. Barnes back out to Walton, who's attempting with the three-point shot and is good for three. Bishop with the ball, bringing it over half court once again. Dribbling down onto the left-hand side, pass back out to Garcia. Garcia passes to Salem's number 4, but it attempts a three-point shot and is no good. It is rebounded by Michelle Jan for Edinboro. The ball, while attempting to pass, Jan, sorry, there was a lot that just went on. Jan attempted to pass the ball. It was stolen away, and then she took a charge, but the play was not called by the referees. The ball is now with Barnes for Edinboro, and pass back out to Schaefer, who attempted a jump shot and is good for 2.
Edinboro brings it within 3 as the score stands 33-30 with Salem in possession.
Bishop over to number 15, Garcia. Garcia goes up and is good for 2 in the paint.
Sorry, go ahead, Sid.
Sorry, Barnes inbounding to Schaefer. Schaefer over to Walton. Walton over to Barnes. Barnes driving into the paint. And an offensive foul is called.
Yeah, they're going to call a charge there on Mckayla Barnes.
The score sits 35 Salem, 30 Edinboro with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the second quarter.
Sarah Fisher comes in the game for Edinboro as Mckayla Barnes takes a seat. I just want to mention in the last defensive stand by Edinboro, Salem did end up scoring, but there was some great help defense by Michelle Jan as Bridget Schaefer was undersized.
Price now with the ball for Salem, driving into the paint and is good for a jump shot. Fisher now inbounding for Edinboro, passes over to Walton. Walton is fouled in the process by Salem's full court press.
Salem did not like that call, but 2 Salem players basically sandwiched Walton, and they're going to call a foul. It's going to be on Salem player number 5, Pickens.
And Walton will go to the line for Edinboro. Walton's first free throw attempt is good, bringing the score 37 Salem, 31 Edinboro with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. And that puts number 5, Jonte Walton for Edinboro with 16 points in this game so far. And she is good in her second free throw attempt as well. So Price for Salem bringing the ball back over the half-court line, pushing it towards the left-hand side, pushing it down into the paint, and driving and attempting to make a layup, but is unsuccessful.
Well, they're going to call a foul here on Mckayla Barnes. They said that she extended her free arm. Callie Wheeler was looking for a little bit of a traveling call for Salem. Ref's not agreeing.
Ball is inbounded to number 5, Bowers. Back out to Price. Price over to number 5, Bowers again. Bowers out. There is a foul called on number 4 for Salem, Bowers, for traveling.
Defensively, what Salem's trying to do is not let Edinboro get set up in a half-court offense. They're double-teaming the ball in full-court press, trying to cause turnovers.
And Walton with the ball, attempting to bring it over half-court line, and is successful. Walton with the ball on the right-hand side of the court, dribbling and attempting to drive into the paint before passing out to Schaefer. Schaefer over to Fisher. Fisher attempting a three-point shot. The shot is no good, and it's rebounded by number 10, Jones, for Salem. Price passing over to Bowers. Bowers up and is good for her layup. Fisher into Young for Edinboro. Now Fisher bringing the ball over half-court line.
Got to get the ball over.
She is over half-court line and attempting to bring the ball down on the right-hand side, but is holding it at the top of the arc. Now passing over to Walton. Walton now dribbling down into the paint and is good for her layup. Price now bringing the ball back over half-court line for Salem. Salem Price over on the right-hand side of the court before passing over to number 4 for Salem and attempting to shoot, but the rebound is gotten by Schaefer. Schaefer over to Fisher. Fisher coming over the half-court line and feeling pressure to shoot. Walton passing the ball off to Walton. Walton goes in for the layup and is unsuccessful. Salem bringing the ball back in, and Price bringing it over half-court line, driving into the paint.
Sarah Fisher tried to take a charge there, and another uncalled charge, it seems. Here comes a new foul for Salem. There's 24.7 seconds left in the first half of this matchup between Salem and Edinboro, where Salem stands ahead 39-34. Michelle Yan comes in for Edinboro. There's 24 seconds left on the shot clock and 24.7 on the game clock. Salem can reserve a last shot opportunity here.
The ball is inbounded and goes over half-court line to number 3 for Salem via Booth.
Oh!
But the ball is stolen away by number 3 for Edinboro, Brown. Brown passes over to Fisher. Fisher at the top of the arc and pivoting to create some space. A pick is set by number 10, Young. Young over to Brown, and Brown attempting the shot. Young attempting a three-point shot and is good for 3, bringing the score 39 Salem, 37 Edinboro.
Okay, so a lot has happened recently. Salem took the ball out underneath their own basket. The ball went over half court. The Salem player believed that she couldn't touch the ball to cause an over and back, so she picked up the ball, threw it towards the referee's direction, where Monica Brown was able to steal the ball because she was aware that the ball was still live. Bridget Schaefer buried the 3 to bring Edinboro within 2. Then there's going to be a half-court heave from number 2, Nia Bishop, and they're going to call a foul. So she will head to the line for 3 with 0.4 seconds on the clock. Edinboro down by 2, 39-37. That was great court awareness there by Monica Brown, who was able to come up with a steal after the Salem player threw it away.
And Bishop's first free throw attempt is successful.
A little bit of confusion there for Salem.
Bishop's second free throw attempt is unsuccessful. And now for her third.
Edinboro's not even going to get a chance to put a shot up. Bridget Schaefer will take the ball out of bounds underneath Salem basket. And they will hold and take this 4-point deficit into the locker room. It is 41-37 in favor of Salem.
All right, and now we are going to take a break at halftime. Thank you to WFSC's ETV for giving you the live stream of this game. Thank you to Tom, who is working the board, and he's going to get you all of your favorite songs right now for our halftime break. This is WFSC 88.9 Fighting Scots Radio. Welcome back to Macomb Fieldhouse after our halftime break. The score sits 41 Salem, 37 Edinboro. Matt and I are going to be switching roles, so I'm Sid, and I'll be bringing you some color alongside Matt, who's going to be bringing you all the play-by-play for the second half. Matt, what have you seen from the first half?
Well, Edinboro's been out-rebounded 21-17 in favor of Salem. That's definitely been a big part of the game. Salem's had a few opportunities where they get second and third chance points off the offensive rebounds. Turnovers have played a big factor for both teams. Edinboro has 5, while Salem has 8. Salem's been leading the game for the duration of the game, and Edinboro is shooting only 25% from 3, and the 3 ball is something that this team has relied on a lot throughout the season. They're getting their open looks, but the shots just aren't falling. Overall, they're shooting 35.5% from the field, while Salem is shooting 50%.
I think something else that lends itself to the game is the amount of physicality that's going on. We had Edinboro in the bonus in the past quarter, with 5 team fouls on Salem's side, and Edinboro eventually catching up towards the end, but not quite getting there. Do you think that Borough might be getting a little bit out-physicaled in this game?
Yeah, the physicality of this game is, it seems as though Edinboro isn't matching Salem. But then again, Salem has fresh legs coming in. After reading the halftime report, there's not a single player on Salem who has played more than 12 minutes of the 20 that has been played. So there's a lot of spreading out in terms of who's playing, who's on the court. That's because they want to keep their fresh legs in terms of the full court press. We are about to go here with Salem starting with the ball, number 2, Mia Bishop will have the ball at the top of the key. For Edinboro, we have Mckayla Barnes, Michelle Yan, Jonte Walton, Bridget Schaefer, and Macy Tarrant. Jonte Walton with a steal at the three-point line. She will bring it up past half court, kick it over to Mckayla Barnes, who will try to facilitate the offense. A little bit of confusion as Barnes runs into Walton. I think she was looking for a screen. Mckayla Barnes will make a hard drive to the basket. And believe it or not, it will be stuck in between the backboard and the rim. I don't know how the refs are going to play this one. Did someone get... Oh, yeah. Sure, I forgot. There's a couple six-footers on Salem, and the girl just jumped up and hit it out. So we resume play with Jonte Walton taking the ball from out of bounds under Edinboro's basket. And we'll toss it up to Macy Tarrant, kick it back out to Walton, who hits the three. Now makes it only down by one for Edinboro. It is 41-39 with 9:22 left in the third quarter. Salem comes right back, though, with a quick layup for number 14, Fernandez. Walton takes it out of bounds. She's being double-teamed early at full court. Bridget Schaefer gets it past half court for Edinboro and kicks it back to Walton, who will try to set up an offense for Edinboro. She's taking it over to near the Edinboro bench, kicks it back out to Barnes. Barnes drives, kicks to Schaefer. Schaefer then kicks to Jan. Jan drives, jump shot from the foul line is good for Jan. Now 43-41 Salem. Salem brings the ball up. Bishop to Villalobos. Down to number 15, Garcia, who will miss the layup and rebounded by Schaefer. Quickly passes up to Walton, who's looking to push the tempo up to Barnes, who will take a layup and make it. This is the first time the game has been tied since the 36-second mark when the game began. Bishop will have the ball in the wing, take a deep three, and put Salem back up by 3. Salem still set up in their full court press. Jonte Walton being double teamed in the corner. Pass it up to half court to Schaefer. Tarrant has it at the wing. Kicks it out to Jan, who is tiptoeing near the sidelines. Walton will have the ball. Kicks out to Jan. Jan dribble drive to the right. Pass it to her left where a wide open three for Walton, which will not go in. Rebounded by number 3, Villalobos for Salem, who will be pushing the tempo. What a block by Michelle Jan on the defensive end there. Number 2, Bishop thought she had a layup. Jan came out flying out of nowhere for the defensive block. But unfortunately, there will be a double dribble committed by Macy Tarrant for Edinboro.
And that last play had both Barnes and Bishop laid out on the floor after that score. So I think that just lends something to the level of physicality going on, the pressure being felt from Edinboro's side by the full court press that is happening.
I'm surprised Edinboro isn't pulling some sort of full court press or any sort of press. Just trying to create some turnovers. As number 1, Price has the ball over to 14, Fernandez, who drives right down the lane, puts a circus layup shot in and somehow goes in. It's now 48-43 in favor of Salem. Walton trying to break the press, has 2 people on her. Drives right past them. Foul. Another shot from the foul line is good for Jonte Walton, making that 23 points on the game. Salem looking to get it down low, but it is tipped by Jan, who then steals it and throws it to Walton before she goes out of bounds. Walton has the ball after a nice spin. She drives to the basket, unable to convert her layup. A lot of traffic down there. There's going to be a foul called on number 14 for Edinboro. That will be Abby Antalik. Be her first of the day. Score stands 48-45 in favor of Salem with 6:38 left in the third quarter. Price bringing the ball up for Salem, kicks it to the corner for Fernandez. Ref blows her whistle. Unclear what the call is right now.
The score sits 48 Salem, 45 Edinboro with 6 minutes and 31 seconds left in this quarter.
They called a foul on Walton. That'll be her second. Salem takes the ball out under the basket. Bishop makes a couple moves. Jab step, jump shot will be off. Rebounded by Barnes, who has a clear path in front of her. Barnes takes the layup, makes it. 47-48. Edinboro is now down by 1 as Salem prepares another group of 5 to come in the game. Bishop has it. on the right side of the Edinboro court. Another steal by Edinboro. Walton has a clear lane to the layup, and she will convert her layup. This is the first lead Edinboro's had all game, and Salem will quickly call a 30-second timeout.
And we will take a 30-second timeout alongside with them. This is WFSE 88.9 Fighting Scots Radio.
And we are back in Macomb Fieldhouse. I am Matt Hare doing the play-by-play alongside Sid, who will be doing the color for today's game. As mentioned previously, or if you are just joining us, Edinboro has taken their first lead of the game. It's 49-48 with 6:01 left in the third quarter. Teams are still meeting. What do you think sparked this Edinboro comeback?
I think, Edinboro is definitely the team that they go in for their halftime break, and they really assess what happened that first half of the game. And that's what I really love about this team, is that they learn from their mistakes, and their ability to adapt and learn, and that time that it takes them is extremely short. It's extremely quick. They learn fast. They adapt fast. And so I think, they went in for that halftime break, and they figured out what they needed to figure out in order to help break this press a little bit and maybe settle as well. I
couldn't agree more. So they have their first lead of the game. Salem has the ball, bringing it up. It's going to be in the hands of number 2, Nia Bishop. Passes it over to 23, Tart, who kicks it out back to Bishop. Drive by Bishop, puts up a layup, and she's going to miss. Nearly goes out of bounds, but thanks to the hands of Michelle Yan, will keep it in Edinboro's possession. Mckayla Barnes pushing the ball up. Gets past 3 people, kicks it out to Yan, who pump fakes, steps to her right, pushes up a 3, no good, but Anslick with the rebound, who will kick it out to Walton. Now in the hands of Barnes. Loose ball, Jan saves it, goes off a Salem player. It will retain Edinboro possession. Great hustle play there by Michelle Jan. She seems to be all over the court tonight.
Yeah, really. She's been really pushing the ball, really pushing the speed, and really helping to combat that tempo that Salem's laying out for Edinboro.
And as Michelle Jan passes it to Walton from out of bounds, Walton looking to slow the tempo a little bit. Jan has it at the corner, passes it up to Schaefer at the top of the key, over to Walton, the other wing. Barnes will shoot a 3, and it is good.
The score now lies 52 Edinboro, 48 Salem, with 5 minutes and 2 seconds left in this quarter.
Bishop has the ball, passes it down to Garcia, who looks to back down Bridget Schaefer, who then makes the layup. It now stands 52-50 in favor of Edinboro. The energy in Macomb Fieldhouse in terms of fans has definitely been raised since Edinboro has made this comeback and now leading the game. Mckayla Barnes from the foul line goes off the back of the iron, rebounded by number 3, Villa Yobos, who will push the ball up for Salem, being guarded by Jan. In the corner, loose ball. Salem, there's going to be a jump ball called as Walton went down with Tart. Not clear whose possession it will stay, but there will be some subs, and it looks like there will be a media timeout, so we will take a 30-second timeout as well. I'm Matt Hare. I'm here with Sid, and we will be doing a 30-second timeout. This is WFSC. And we are back on WFSC doing play-by-play. My name is Matt Hare, alongside Sid Dundon, who will be doing the color for the second half after we kind of switch positions, trying to, have an equal opportunity here, I guess.
Yeah, definitely trying to cover all of our bases, especially for the classes that we take. But I think both of us are excited to be here and covering this game for you guys. I'd like to point out that this is, an out of section game. They're not in Salem Universities from West Virginia. They're not from the PSACs. They're still a Division II school. But so some people would say, why is this game so competitive? Why is this game getting so heated? And my answer to that would be no athlete ever steps on the field, steps on their playing, form, and says, I don't care about today's game. I'm going to lose today's game. It's that desire to win, the desire to succeed that comes with being an athlete. And I think that that's really playing into today's game for both sides.
Great points that I completely agree. It will stay in possession of Salem as number 1, Price, drives hard to the basket but kicks it out to Fernandez. They're going to have the ball at the top of the key. It's going to land in the hands of Price again, who takes a deep 3 with a hand in her face. Great defense here by Michelle Yan. ends up in the hands of Jonte Walton, who pushes the tempo up to Barnes, who takes a layup. It is not good, but they will call a foul on Salem. I believe that'll be against Precious Price, and it will. That's going to be her third foul of the night, and Mckayla Barnes will go to the line. Sid, as you were mentioning, they are from West Virginia. This is actually Edinboro's last non-conference game before they only play PSAC West opponents. First shot for Barnes at the line is good. It's now 53-50 with 4:02 left in the third quarter. Barnes is about to attempt her second shot. Also good. That's going to be her 18th and 19th point of this contest as Price pushes it up the court for Salem. Guarded by Michelle Yan. Over to Fernandez. Drives in. They're going to call a charge on Salem. Barnes had her feet set. It will be Edinboro ball. They're going to call that a number 14, Fernandez. That's her first of the contest. And after sagging off a little bit, they're back with this full court press. A little confusion between the refs, who will have a conversation near the baseline. Now, the last time these two teams met was in December 17th of 2016, where Edinboro nearly won by 40 points by the score of 90-51.
I think that definitely says something about a program turnaround to go from that, kind of
absolutely.
lead. And I don't think Edinboro's team playing, this has been a pretty solid program for a number of years now. And while we've had some seniors leave and come and go from our program within those years, it's still a very solid program. Edinboro's Lady Scots play as a unit. So for Salem to turn around, I think that really says something about the program and this new coach.
Mckayla Barnes will take it out of bounds to an open Antalik, who gives it back to Barnes. Has a lot of court in front of her. She will drive to the right side of the court, kick it out to Walton, who thinks about the three but drives to the foul line. Up to Antalik at the top of the key, over to Barnes near the Edinboro bench, who drives, has Walton open, quick dribble drive to the left, will put up a layup. Looks like there was some contact, nothing was called. And again, after Walton gets her own rebound, they said it was a clean block, looked to be a little bit of body contact there. But as you were saying, yes, we have two first-year head coaches here. Both Callie Wheeler and Salem coach Cody Gilmore. Walton will take a corner three, which is no good. Lands in the hands of number 21, Hall. Yan with a quick steal, though. As I said, she's been all over the court tonight. Passes it to Barnes, thinks about the three. Drives in, over to Antalik, back to Walton. Over to Yan for the three. It is good. Michelle Yan rewarded there for a great defensive play and causing a turnover with a three of her own, making it 57-50 Edinboro. Corner three by number 4 for Salem. Bowers goes in.
I'd like to add that Edinboro currently has 3 of their 1,000-point club scorers on the court at the moment. That would be Yan, Barnes, and Walton.
Barnes scored her 1,000 point the other day against Mercyhurst in a 30-plus point performance. Walton at the foul line kicks out to Antalik, who takes a shot. It's going to be good. I think they're going to say she was on the line. So it will not be a three-pointer. No, it will not be. Just a two, a very deep two. Price brings it in for Salem. A little bit of contact again, but the layup is good. 59-55 now. Bridget Schaefer passes it to Antalik at half court. Over back to Bridget Schaefer. And Walton will slow down the game at the three-point line. Kicks out to Schaefer in the corner. Three. In and out, rolled around the rim a few times, but Yan with the offensive rebound out to Barnes, who drives in. Layup no good for Barnes. Back in the hands of Precious Price, who will bring it over half court for Salem. Kicks it to number 14, Fernandez, who takes a three. Will not be good, but will hit the top of the backboard and out of play. Edinboro will have possession. Sid, what do you know? A new 5 coming in for Salem.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think that has definitely factored into Salem's playing style. They're really about keeping players fresh, and I like that you added earlier that it is really similar to hockey, how players are constantly coming on and off the playing field. So I think that keeping them fresh is really helping with that full court press the entire game.
Definitely, and a substitution for Edinboro, number 10, Lillian Young will come in for the game. They get it over half court to Yan, back over to Walton. Bridget Schaefer made a good cut to the basket but was unseen. Walton takes a deep shot, gets her own rebound. Gotta box out the shooter there. Out to Walton, to Barnes for a three at the top of the key. That's gonna be good. 62-55 now in favor of Edinboro. And this Macomb crowd is loving this three-point mirage that Edinboro is putting on right now. Michelle Yan hits the ground hard. Mckayla Barnes takes it down. Points are good. Seemed to have been a foul there.
And there is some deliberation from both coaches, and both teams are getting quite vocal as we can hear them from up here in the crow's nest. And there are some substitutions being made. Michelle Yan will go out after she hit the ground pretty audibly from where we're standing. And coming in for her will be number 3, Brown for Edinboro.
And it's in the hands of number 15 for Salem, Garcia, who's backing down Schaefer, but Schaefer is not taking it. As she causes a miss and gets the defensive rebound, pushes it up to Walton, who makes it past half court. But will turn the ball over, and it will be in the hands of Villalobos, who pushes the tempo for Salem. Young is there for defense, is guarding 2 people at once. Little miscommunication there, and Garcia is able to convert a layup for Salem. Clock's running here, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Edinboro up 7. It is 64-57. Just want to mention, after Michelle Yan hit the floor, she did get up under her own power and was smiling with Coach Callie Wheeler. Another turnover by Edinboro caused by Garcia, who takes it in for a layup of her own and will make it. About 10 seconds left on the clock as Edinboro takes it out in the hands of Bridget Schaefer, kicks it all the way across the court to Walton, who gets it over half court. 5 seconds left. She will pass it to Barnes for the 3 at the buzzer. Be no good. Now take us to the fourth quarter of play. We will take a 1-minute break here. This is WFSC. And back for the last quarter of play in Macomb Fieldhouse. We have a women's basketball matchup between Edinboro and Salem. With play-by-play, I'm Matt Hare alongside the color commentator Sid Dundon. As we previously mentioned, Michelle Yan went down hard on the floor but was able to get up on her own power and go to the bench. She's back in the game to start the fourth quarter, along with Sarah Fisher, Mckayla Barnes, Bridget Schaefer, and Lillian Young. Fisher has the ball, passes it to Young at the three-point line. Over to the wing to Michelle Yan, who makes a fake, back to Young, over to Barnes. A lot of perimeter play here by Edinboro. Kicks it out to Fisher after the drive is unsuccessful. Young has the ball, back to Fisher. Definitely trying to slow down the pace a little bit here in this fourth quarter. Finds a wide open Michelle Yan in the corner, who makes the three-pointer. That was a great dribble drive there by Fisher, causing the double team, and she's able to kick it out in the corner to Yan for the 3. It's now 67-59 Edinboro with 9 minutes left in the fourth. Salem tries to match with a 3 of their own, which is ungood, but there will be an offensive rebound and a layup by number 10, India Jones. There will be a foul called on number 10, Lillian Young, which will be her first of tonight's competition. Number 10, India Jones, will be heading to the line.
The score now sits 67, Edinboro 59, Salem with 9 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock.
First shot for Jones is no good. Second shot up. It will be good. 67-60 now. A lot of confusion there after the Salem player takes the foul shot. She gets her own rebound and takes it out of bounds, almost as if she's part of the Edinboro team. They will quickly put that to a halt. It will be Edinboro ball. Mckayla Barnes will take the ball out from under the Salem basket. Have you ever seen something like that? You make your foul shot and think you get the ball going the other way?
Well, when I played basketball, it was a long time ago, and we were all in the 5th grade, so I did see it occasionally, but that's very rare for that to happen at this level.
Yep. Full court press still in effect. Great crossover by Barnes. Gets it over half court. She will be shadowed by Fernandez. Drive, kicks out to Michelle Yan in the corner. Up to Fisher, who takes a shot, a deep 3. No good, but Bridget Schaefer is there for the offensive rebound, although it does get tipped out, and it will be in possession of Precious Price now, who brings it over half court for Salem.
Height definitely is playing a big factor in this game. They're just getting out-grabbed, and some of the rebounds based virtually on height.
Definitely. A layup was taken by Fernandez there. Great post move, but was unable to convert. Barnes pulls the ball up. Layup for her is good. 69-60. Edinboro That's Mckayla Barnes' 26th point of the night, coming close to 30. Salem takes a three, not good. Rebounded by Lillian Young, who gives it to Mckayla Barnes, who brings the ball up for Edinboro. Quick crossover at the foul line, unable to make a layup, looking for a foul there after some contact. Precious Price bringing the ball up for Salem, and Michelle Yan is able to pick her pocket and create a turnover. Passed it to Schaefer, who takes a three of her own, will be not successful. And there will be a timeout called by the Salem head coach. It will be a 30-second timeout, so we will also take a 30-second break. You are listening to WFSE. We are here in Macomb Fieldhouse for a matchup between Edinboro women's basketball and Salem. Funny thing, I don't know what happened with the scoreboard, but it went from the fourth quarter to the seventh. I don't know what's going on down there.
It's a secret bonus quarter.
Bonus quarters, a lot of overtime.
The score now sits 69 Edinboro to 60 Salem. I think Edinboro's really gone in after that half, and like I said earlier, they've just adjusted. I can see a lot of the players on Edinboro's side, dictating how the game is played versus in the first half. Salem was really dominating the tempo, the pace, the pressure, where Edinboro was getting points scored. And while the full court press is still affecting Edinboro, it's not nearly as much. I'd like to highlight the amount of steals and turnovers created by Michelle Yan. She's really playing a phenomenal game today.
Absolutely. Kelly Wheeler definitely mentioned at halftime that they need to figure out a way to break the press. A circus shot taken by a Salem player doesn't even hit any sort of rim. It'll be rebounded by Michelle Yan, and Jonte Walton has it. Passes it over to Sarah Fisher. Now Yan has it. Bridget Schaefer at the top of the key, over to Fisher, back to Walton. Walton looks to make a dribble drive move, kicks it out to Lillian Young, who takes a three. No good. Will be rebounded by Salem, being pushed up by Nia Bishop, the leading scorer for Salem. Edinboro looking for a carry call, looking like Bishop held the ball and dribbled it back down, but it will retain Salem possession. Fernandez with a step-back three is good. 69-63 now. Edinboro still leads. Walton loses the ball for the second but regains composure. Full court press not really in effect there, but there was one player guarding Walton from the jump. Fisher will have the ball, looking to set up an offense. Kicks it out to Lillian Young at the top of the key. They are currently staying stagnant. Not looking to make too much trouble on the offensive end. Gets tipped out. Walton retains possession. Kicks it out to Young. Takes a shot from the foul line. No good. Rebounded by number 15, Garcia for Salem. The Yobos has possession of the ball, being guarded by Fisher. Kicks it over to Garcia. Back to Garcia with a three-pointer. No good. Rebounded by Yan, who's been all over the place. And they're going to call a foul on a Salem player. That's going to be number 30, Reva Jackson, as Michelle Yan tried to get past her. 69-63 the score is now, with 6 minutes and 16 seconds on the board and left in the game.
I think we're about to see a very intense 6 minutes left in this game. From the way these players are playing, nobody wants to lose.
Absolutely. Mckayla Barnes takes it out on the sideline over to Walton. We have Mckayla Barnes, Jonte Walton, Michelle Yan, Abby Antalik, and Bridget Schaefer are the five for Edinboro currently. Antalik has it at the three-point line, right in the middle. Over to Walton, who drives behind the back. Over to Yan in the corner. Step-back three for Yan. Also good. She has caught fire here in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. 72-63 now, as Precious Price has the ball. Being guarded by Yan in the corner. A three-pointer for Salem is good. And that's going to be number 10, and India Jones. Full court press back in effect. Mckayla Barnes inbounds it to Bridget Schaefer, who passes to Antalik at half court. A 2-on-1 opportunity, but they pull the ball out to set up the offense. Coach Callie Wheeler called for that. Jonte Walton has the ball, passes it to Antalik at the foul line. Uses her pivot foot well, looking for an open player.
And a 5-second call will be a 5-second infraction will be called on number 14 for Edinboro, Antelic.
Precious Price bringing the ball up for Salem, signaling the number 1 play. Gets the ball back in Price's hands, takes a 3, no good. Great box out by Antelic there. They are going to call a foul. It's going to be on number 10, India Jones, which will be her second. But a great box out by Antelic to cause that.
The score sits 72, Edinboro 66, Salem with 5 minutes and 4 seconds left in the last quarter of the game.
Salem defender jumping in Mckayla Barnes' face as she tries to take it out of bounds, which is successful. Jonte Walton brings it over half court. She is met by a double team, and the ball is knocked loose, but it will stay in possession of Edinboro as the ball goes out of bounds.
Both teams really heating up and some words being exchanged by some of the players. Refs are deliberating at the moment. Yeah,
Mckayla Barnes landed on the ground, and she was not a fan of that. The ref will be having a conversation with the Salem player. As we look at the scoreboard, Mckayla Barnes has 26 points, and Jonte Walton has 25. Michelle Yan with 11, Bridget Schaefer with 5, and Abby Antelic with 2. It is 72-66 with 4 minutes, 40 seconds left. Schaefer has the ball, kicks it to Antelic at the foul line, has her shot blocked, and it will land in possession of Precious Price, who will push it up for Salem. As another 5 gets ready to come in for Salem, a foul will be called. Precious Price's shot is good. They did call a charge on Precious Price, who will plead her case to the referee, although it will be Edinboro's ball. Antelic takes a seat for Edinboro. Lillian Young comes back in the game. Full court press still happening here. Bridget Schaefer takes it in the wing, back over to the middle of Mckayla Barnes. Being double teamed now. And she gets past the double team, gets past another Salem player. It's her and one more player, but she kicks it out to Jan, who drives to the basket, kicks it out to Schaefer. Drives left, kicks it to Walton. Walton looked to slow down the offense here. Spin move by Walton. Shot deep 2 will not be good. Landed in the hands of number 15, Garcia, who then passes it to Nia Bishop. They need to get something going here quick. Yobos with a shot from the elbow, no good. Michelle Young with another rebound. As mentioned before, or if you were just joining us, she has been all over the place with steals, rebounds, and great shots made. Walton will hold the pace up a little bit to Lily Young at the foul line, who steps back, passes it to Barnes. Coach Wheeler is calling for some sort of play. Barnes will call it out over to Lillian Young near the Edinboro bench. Michelle Yan now has it, being guarded by Bishop. Puts up a layup, will be no good. It goes out of bounds. One ref said it was Salem's ball. The other said it was tipped by a Salem player. So it will stay with Edinboro.
Edinboro's coach Callie Wheeler definitely yelling out to her team to slow down, to hold the ball. At this point in the game, they don't want to cause any unnecessary turnovers that could possibly cost them points and change the score once again.
So after Michelle Yan's shot was tipped and went out of bounds, there's only 2 seconds on the shot clock. They quickly get it inbounds. Walton takes a deep corner 2, and it is good, 74-66 in favor of Edinboro with 3 minutes, 13 seconds left. Salem layup no good, rebounded by Schaefer, quickly given to Jan. Over to Walton, no full court press after that Salem miss. They want to get back and not give up any easy opportunities. Walton will take it out, slow it down a bit. Over to Schaefer, who is right in front of the Edinboro bench. To Jan, looks like she's going to take the 3. Passes over to Walton, who has a layup opportunity. It is good for her. Edinboro now up by 10 late in the game with about 2 minutes, 40 seconds left. Bishop has the ball, takes a 3. That's good for her. That'll be her 16th point of the competition. Edinboro now up 7. It is 76-69 with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. For Edinboro, we have Lillian Young, Mckayla Barnes, Bridget Schaefer, Jonte Walton, and Michelle Yan as they press the break, or they break the press once again. Layup from Mckayla Barnes will be good, and there will be a foul called. She will head to the line 4-1.
Edinboro is definitely doing a really successful job of breaking the press. They're creating space where it's needed, driving the team into corners, and then really long passing out to create the space needed and then catch them on a breakaway, so then when they do get to Salem's basket, they're not guarded by a lot of people at all, and they're outnumbered down there. And I think that that's really been affecting Salem, so they've been letting up on the full court press rather than earlier in the game when they were really, really pushing it.
Well, Salem was just looking to cause turnover opportunities and get steals, but by double teaming, you're leaving a person open or a player open, and Edinboro's done a great job, especially in the second half, of finding that open player when they are being double teamed. Tempo being pushed by Precious Price, who was fouled by Michelle Yan. Shot is no good, but she will head to the line for 2 as Edinboro's up by 9. It is 78-69 with 2 minutes 13 seconds left. That's Michelle Yan's third foul. 2 Edinboro players very close to 30 points tonight. Jonte Walton has 29 and Mckayla Barnes has 28. Precious Price's first shot will be no good. She will have another looking to try to reach that 70-point milestone for Salem. Second shot also no good. Rebounded by Yan. No surprise there, it seems. Up to Walton. Walton being double teamed. Michelle Yan is open. She will find the open Michelle Yan. I'm not sure if Salem is looking to foul, and they will foul. Jonte Walton was fouled by number 5, Mckayla Pickens. Callie Wheeler calls her team over to create a game plan late in this game. 78-69, Edinboro is still up with 1 minute 57 seconds left.
And I believe for the first time in the game, Salem is not substituting in their entire lineup. They're only sending one person in as a sub, which is unique to their specific playing style. It's not unique to the rest of the basketball, but to the way Salem's been playing their game and strategizing, it is specific to them.
Jonte Walton, first shot is good. That's going to be her 30th point of the contest. Quite the game by Jonte Walton. And not just scoring, she's been pushing the tempo, playing great defense, and passing the ball when she should pass the ball. Her second shot, there's nobody in the lane for Edinboro. Only 4 Salem players looking to get the rebound. Second shot's good. Precious Price brings the ball up over half court, met by Michelle Yan at the 3-point line. They need to get something going fast. Bishop in the corner, looks to drive, passes it out. They want a 3-pointer. They will get one, but it will be a miss, and Mckayla Barnes will get the rebound, and she will be fouled by number 2. It's going to be Bishop. Now, Mckayla Barnes has 28 points right now. Makes these 2 foul shots. It'll be her second game in a row with 30 points, as she had 33 against Mercyhurst, where she got her 1,000th point.
And I think it really says something about a program and about a team and about the coaching staff, like not only right now because this is Callie Wheeler's first year, but for her to continue the success of last year and have 4 players in your starting lineup who are 1,000-point scorers and still climbing as well. That really sets a really threatening lineup for other teams.
But one of the 4 is out tonight. Sierra Rawson is in regular streetwear on the bench. Both foul shots from Mckayla Barnes are good, so she has reached 30 points again. Minute 36 here. Edinboro up 82-69. A 3 in the corner for Salem. Not good. But Price has the ball. Looks like she stepped out of bounds, but nothing is called. They want another quick 3 here. Almost stolen by Barnes. Great read there on defense by Barnes and Walton. Corner 3 by Salem. Not good, but another rebound for Salem. Lands in the Price. Hands of Bishop, who makes a layup. It is now 82-71 with a minute going down on the clock. Inbounds pass from Barnes to Lillian Young in the corner, then to Walton, who is met by 2 people not over half court yet. Now she is by passing to Michelle Yan. Ref signaled her hand up in the air like she was going to call a foul, but then put it back down quickly, as Michelle Yan almost was forced out of bounds by a Salem defender. Barnes crosses up her defender, and there will be a foul called on number 4, Bowers. So Barnes will go back to the line as they are up by 11, 82-71, with less than a minute to go in this game.
Yeah, definitely Barnes not a good person to send to the line over and over again, as not a good person for the opposing team, should I say, to send to the line, as she is 82, her stats have her at 82% at the line, so she will be more successful than not. And as she just scored both of her free throws were successful, I think that just proves to her talent and ability.
Price looking to make a great move, but she is fouled on her layup attempt. That's something Edinboro wants to stay away from, especially late in the game, is not give away free points. But Price will head to the line. That'll be Michelle Jan's 4th foul tonight.
The score is 84 Edinboro, 71 Salem, with 37.1 seconds left on the clock for this final quarter of the women's basketball game.
First shot by Price is good. You could hear that from up here. That Price will have one more. Couple substitutions for Salem, looking to get some size in for some second chance opportunities if their three-pointers do not sink. Price's second shot, also good. Timeout by Callie Wheeler. So we will also take a break. Before we do, the score is 84-73 Edinboro with 37 seconds left. This is WFSE. We are back as the fourth quarter is about to close out with 37 seconds left in the game. Edinboro women's basketball beating Salem 84-73. It'll be Edinboro ball. Quite the play setup as 3 players on the other side of the court, but Michelle Jan ends up with the ball. Goes off her foot, but there will be a foul called. It's going to go against number 2, and that will be Nia Bishop as Michelle Jan heads to the line for 2 shots. 33 seconds remaining. Michelle Jan looking for her 12th and 13th point of the day. First shot is good. And now on the free throw line, or the free throw lane, there's only 2 Salem defenders. The other 3 around the 3-point line. And the other 4 Edinboro players already ready back for defense. And it looks to be another timeout called here by Salem, but it might just be a substitution timeout. They will indeed meet up. So we will take another 30-second break. With WFSC, I'm Matt Hare with Sid Dundon. We are back. Score stands 86-73 with 33 seconds left. Quick timeout called there just to go over a quick gameplay and to make some substitutions. For Edinboro, we have Jonte Walton, Michelle Jan, Bridget Schaefer, Lillian Young, and Mckayla Barnes. Salem player quickly turns and rips a 3, missed. And another foul will be called on Edinboro, sending Nia Bishop to the line.
The score sits 86 Edinboro, 73 Salem with 27 seconds and 27.9 seconds left in this matchup.
And that last foul will go against Bridget Schaefer, her second of the day. Bishop's first foul shot is good. Some more substitutions happening for Salem. Number 15 will come in. Garcia, big rebounder for Salem. Second shot by Bishop. Will rim in and out. Rebounded by Schaefer. A couple players hit the ground. Ref blows her whistle. It will be a full timeout called by Edinboro, so we will also take a minute break with WFSE. Less than 30 seconds left to play in this game. The score is 86 Edinboro, 74 Salem. Michelle Jan has the ball in the corner, meets a double team. She was looking for a foul. Nothing was called as she was pushed out of bounds, and the ref will call a travel.
Score is 86-74 in favor of Edinboro, and both teams seem to be using up the majority of their timeouts that they have left in order to create some extra strategy, maybe make the other team nervous. I don't know what, but they really are utilizing every tool that they have.
I think Kelly Wheeler called the last timeout just to tell her team, don't commit any fouls. 3 will fall for Salem. It is 86-77. 12.6 seconds left. Mckayla Barnes takes it out of bounds to Lillian Young. Up to Michelle Jan. It's 2-on-1. Michelle Jan will hold the ball out. There's some contact, and the clock will run out. Great game here by Jonte Walton and Mckayla Barnes, who had 63 combined points. And Edinboro was able to come out on top 86-77. Sid, what did you think of the game here today?
I think Salem's unique playing style really factored in and threw Edinboro for a loop. We have a team here at Edinboro that plays as such a unit that we know how they play week in and week out. They play the same game, but they're successful at it. And Salem really throwing them for a loop with this new playing style. I think it was interesting. It made the game exciting, and I'd be excited to see where this team goes. This doesn't change Edinboro's PSAC record, but it does make them 14-5 overall, and keeps them 9-4 in the PSAC West.
Yes, great performance by Edinboro. They made a lot of halftime changes that helped them get this win tonight. I just want to say, I am Matt Hare with Sid Dundon. Just want to thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time and talk to you next time on WFSE Radio.